Dominic, you ended up top tier 2 here at YCS Prague,
yeah,
correct? With
exactly.
Paleozoic 40 cards.
Exactly, pure Paleozoic Prague.
Okay, is there anything you want to say before you go to the list?
Well, the deck was very good. I decided to play 40 cards instead of 60 cards because I was playing with it every time or a long time before the grass even came out and started testing against Zoo. And I just decided, because I had a lot of experience with the deck, put a lot of text in, a few texts into the main deck and the side deck that were very good against the new Lunalight stuff that were starting to come. So I just started to play the deck because I had the most experience with it and didn't want to change too much before a big event.
Right. Okay. Yeah,
all right.
Let's see the list.
Well, first off, we have the standard 3 Swamp Frog, of course. Of course, I have to be an ultimate. Then we have the 3 Duke Frogs. And the 2 Ronin Totems. It's just the normal frog lineup that you need. You don't want to play too much of these because that's like the only card in the deck that can really brick. So you don't want to play too much of them. So we have these 8. Then play the 2 Maxis, of course, which is like obligatory to play in this format right now. That's for the monsters. Don't play more monsters than this. With the spells, we have 3 Pot of Desires, of course. It's completely broken in the deck. As long as you don't, like in my last round, banish every last frog in there, you should be pretty fine with this card. And sometimes you can resolve it twice without it having a big impact on your game or on your grind game, which the deck does very good. And 1 Raigeki, just because Raigeki need the board wipes this turn, especially with Paleozoics. If you do go second, you definitely need your board wipe, so you play 1 Raigeki. That's it for the spells. Then we have the normal Paleozoics, 3 Canadia, of course, 3 Deinonychus, 3 Olenoides, and the 1 Morella. I decided to only play 1 Morella. I had 2 in here before for the Lost Wind, aka Broken Wind, but I decided to play 1 just because you don't want to see it in your hand when you go second. And when you go first, it's just like you can just drop whatever you need in there, unless the Lost Wind or Breakthrough skill for later. You just don't want to see it in your second hand, so you can play 1 of them. That's fine.
Nice.
So yeah, those are Paleozoics, and especially you want to have Paleozoics in every start hand, so you can keep on getting in the grind game. So then we have the 3 Solemn Strike, which is obligatory and mandatory. There are 3-dimensional barriers, of course, have to be played. With Maxi, the broken cards in the deck, this one and the Maxi, of course, were in the metagame. And we have the 3 Reckless Greeds, which is I think the best trap in the deck. Everyone knows it. You can activate it anytime. You can chain one of your Paleozoic traps. Anytime you want to use it, you can just draw, and it gets you into the game. Then we have the 3 Lost Winds, of course, which is the new addition to the deck. I hadn't played it at first, and a few friends of mine told me it is too good. I started reading the card before and noticed that it is too good. It's great against zoos when you have 2 or 3 of them in the graveyard, so you can chain all 3 of them to 1 summon, which is just wonderful. And especially you can use it in the damage step as well, which makes Viper useless. Or the Viper with the Zodiacs makes it completely useless. And it also makes your Infernoid matchup a little bit better.
Right. Because
you can just stop the Onunchu, you stop the Deviati sometimes, depending on what else they have on their field. The Onunchu most of the time. The Deviati, it negates monsters. And we have 1 Compulse, good trap, you need to play it. 1 Torrential, decided to play Torrential in here just because of board wipe in general, and it works great with Duke Frog, of course. And this is my spicy tech to XYZ Universe. My targets for them, I'll show them right away, are this guy here and this guy here. This card won me, I think, like 4 or 5 games. Just when they started with the Lunalight combo, yeah, you can have this on board. They have to take their Drancy or their Emerald, have to put a Bullhorn over the Drancy at first, so they can keep on going on with their plays. You activate Universe, their only out is Warning or Barrier. And if they do activate Barrier, their 2 monsters still go to the graveyard because the card has to resolve as far as it can. And they just -2 right there. If not, you just summon 1 of these, it gets attached as a material. This card can't be destroyed by card effects as long as it has materials, and gives it burn damage, at least next turn, because on the card it says they don't take no more damage for the rest of this turn. And this card right here is just if you don't have no traps on your board. This can destroy every monster with the highest defense points. And if it's the same or if it's tied, you can destroy all of them. And as we know, Zodiacs have like a lot of 0, 0, 0, 0, and you just destroy all of them. So this is definitely my spicy tech. It won me a lot of games. And of course, you can chain a trap card onto it, which just makes it great again as well. The only time they can out it is when they have a Drancia on their side of the field, want to destroy their own Drancia or their own monster. But then you can activate something like Lost Wind to chain it, and then their 2 monsters still leave the field. So this definitely helped. Then, of course, the extra deck. We have 3 Totally Awesomes, of course. 2 Opavinia, you don't need 3 of them. You don't go into them all too often no more. 1 Anomalchus. Just optional as well. If you go into him, mostly you're winning when you start getting him on the field and start drawing traps and traps all the way. Then all the optional stuff, Sky Cavalry, then one of these guys, Cat Shark, and Augusto. This one helped me against 1 Metal Foe in the timeout, these 2. 1 meter game. You don't summon them too much against Zoo. Normally you just summon 1 Opavinia and most of the time it's Toad. 1 Downward Magician, just optional as well. F-Zero. Where else was the card? Yeah, exactly. And of course you have here the 2 optional cards for XYZ Universe. And another spicy tech of mine was the Zodiac Trident in the extra deck, just because when you negate with Totally Awesome and take 1 of his Zodiacs, you can and it survives the same turn. Say you have a Duke Frog and normally survives, you can just put your own Drancia on top of it. If it's with a Thorough Blade, it's even better because then he has attack points. It's just great to have the option since you have the space in this extra deck, so why not? So that's the extra deck. And going on to the side deck, played 1 Darkhold, just same reason as the Raigeki, just to have some more board wipes, and especially when you go second against decks that just put a lot of field boards, just put a lot of damage on the board. I play 2 Necro Valley. Make people think that this is a little bit crazy, but if you play against Infernoid Zoo, especially if you're only playing a 40 card deck, you need to lock them. So this is like the addition to the Imperial Iron Wall. If you can play 3 of these and 2 of these and just have a board that you're able to set, and are able when you're going first, I only side this card first, because it just interacts with it just counters your Ronin Toad in plays. If you can put a Totally Awesome on board with 1 of these on the field, normally you're going to win against the deck. They can't play, so you lock them out. I have these 2. I have 1 Breakthrough Skill and Morella, just for that's Denko. Here, this is Denko. This is just Denko right here. Denko Seka is a problem. You want to get this into the graveyard, that's why another Morella. And warning, you want to stop the Denko, of course. Now with 2 Magical Deflectors. Yeah, this card was great too. It didn't come up as often as I think it would, or as I thought it would. It's great against the Twin Twisters. It's like a little barrier sometimes when they activate a Barrage or the Tenki. A lot of the cards they can't use afterwards if they save them first when they activate Twin Twisters. And you can chain a trap in the graveyard as well. So this was just good just going first in general. Then I played 2 Retaliating Seas. I got this from a good buddy of mine. I just played this when I went second against Zodiacs just to stop the Luna Light combo. And it won me a game once as well because he just had to banish everything. Next turn activated Darkhold, destroyed his field, and was able to search a Maxio. This card was definitely great. It only came up once, but it was great that time. And I played 2 Barrier Statues of Torrent. I played these 2 against Infernoid Zoo as well, just because the same reason. If you can lock him, if you're not able to summon a Toad, you summon this. You can summon this on the field, put a Necro Valley on board. What are they going to do? The Zoo combo is stopped right there, and the Infernoids is stopped right there as well. Yeah, and that's the deck right there.
Any last words?
Yeah, big shout out to Solai Malekia for giving me a lot of tips for this deck, and helping me out a lot. Another big one to Marcel Brunner, who was testing with me on Death Row all the time when he was able to, and gave me a lot of tips as well. He gave me the tip from the Deflector, of Deflector, and another big shout out to René Wistrach. He's the guy who told me to play XYZ Universe. Thank you right there. And another big shout out to my whole team members from Yu-Gi-Oh! Elite Squad. And that's it. Thanks for all the support, and that's it.
Right, Dominic, thanks for the list, and yeah,
no
maybe
problem.
see you next time.
Thank you.